Alright guys, thanks for waiting. Game 1 has loaded successfully. We are on the Rift. Here we go. Both teams heading out pretty fast with the exception of Shyvana, who doesn't look like he connected yet. Okay, never mind. He was just slow to start. Has his items now and he's heading out. Alright, so obviously looking like both teams are not interested in any 2v1 shenanigans. They're just gonna play the lane straight up as intended.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And talking about the matchup of Lulu versus Shyvana, and generally that does tend to go in the favor of Lulu most of the time, but it could end up becoming an individual skill matchup. Obviously, WeCanTwerk not only successful because of their coordination and their communication and their experience together, but also because of their individual skills as well. It's very uncommon to see WeCanTwerk behind in almost any of their lanes, unless something really crazy happens. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see my little Brawly get through this laning phase ahead anyway, despite the matchup. Okay, so both junglers wisely taking the buff closest to their bot lane. It's going to allow them to take the buff that much faster. And this also means that both bot lanes will get to lane at about the same time as they both start heading down. Who as Evan's going to have a very big task of controlling Xerath. Deanbot, usually the playmaker for his team. He usually ends up going really big in all of his games. So we'll see where Vi chooses to spend her attention once she hits 6. I do expect her to farm up to 6. That's something that a lot of the Vi's just like to do. But once he hits 6, he needs to make it count. Whereas Big Brawly, or Best Brawled NA as he is known now, is Elise, so he can definitely gank right away and not wait till 6. As long as he gets all of his skills, he should be able to make a move somewhere. Okay, so no trinkets yet for the top laners to place. Well, Little Brawly could place his now, but probably not going to bother. The wave's in a pretty safe spot for him. He doesn't look like he's in any danger. Oh, and it looks like Elise is actually not going to bother ganking early. Just going to go for some extra clear, taking the Wraith camp, heading over to the Wolves. And red team bot lane doing a good job of taking advantage of the weak Kog'Maw early game. Before he hits 6, it's really hard for him to command much of presence in lane, as he is very immobile and doesn't have a whole lot of damage yet. Whereas Caitlyn with the headshots plus the empowered auto attacks from Nami's E are a big problem for him right now, and he's doing his best to farm on the turret. Okay, so Best Brawled NA looking like he's swinging around for a potential gank, and here we go. There's the Cocoon landing, very nice. Low mana onto Who is Evan, and he's flashing out. Oh, and Best Brawled NA respects the flash and does not dive. Very safe play. And it was a good call as Vi was waiting around the corner anyway, so that could have backfired on them. So he'll just take the free summoner burn for nothing. And that's going to give Deanbot a huge lead in the lane, as he's going to shove the turret in, go back and buy. And he's also going to be up a flash in case they decide to fight. And it looks like Vi continuing to farm up. That vision ward placed deep near the Wraiths will give them a lot of information as to where she is and where she will be going. And given the way that she was walking, I'm sure that the red team are aware that she's heading bot lane. Elise certainly knows it as he's making his way down there. And pretty forced gank, if I do say so myself. Captain Kassadin needs to flash out, and this time Best Brawled NA knows how far away they are from the turret, and he's going to go for it. And the auto attack, very, very nice. Using the both forms of Elise to great effect right there. Oh, goodbye, Cog. Last auto attack will finish him off. Nobody's low enough for the passive to matter. He'll get a CS with it, but not much else. Big play right there by Best Brawled NA. Read that perfectly. Yeah, he just read that to perfection right there. Saw where Vi was moving with the ward, immediately got into position. Alright, so that's gonna be pretty much the end of this bot lane. Kog'Maw is gonna have to hug tower, never let go, and just try to CS as much as possible when it gets shoved in. Because now that he has a BF sword, Caitlyn's gonna be way far ahead. Trading is not gonna be an option anymore. There is no flash on Who Is Evan, so he's dead. Well played again. Best Braum in A, calculating that very, very nicely. Take the flash gank 1, come back for gank 2, and it's easy pickings. WeCanTwerk looking really solid right now. Clearly they want to end this quickly. No fooling around right here. And Shyvana doing pretty well for herself in top lane as well, is ahead by a little CS. Still has teleport up, knows that the lane's not in a spot where she needs to hurry up and get back. And yeah, so he'll save that teleport for later in case he needs to make a play elsewhere on the map. With the lane so snowballed now, we could potentially see Elise going for the dragon. It has been prepped very nicely with a pink ward and a regular ward as well. Gonna hand off blue to Dean bot. Opop's getting hooked up though by Captain Poseidon. There's the Kog'Maw damage coming out, but Caitlyn's still at full health. And she knows, look at that. Piltover Peacemaker with the BF sword on top of it. It's a huge chunk of Kog'Maw's life and he needs to back up. Also, we can't also overlook the fact that the sustain advantage is also with WeCanTwerk's lane as well with the Nami sustain. Alright, so pings going out around the bottom mid area as Deanbot may have fainted a roam down bottom. Looks like Elise is going to play this slow, just going to continue to get gold for free. Can't really be challenged in the jungle anymore because WeCanTwerk is so far ahead individually. Probably not too afraid of running into Vi at this point, and there's the shove up to the turret. Blaster 808 getting good harass. Excellent dodge of the hook, well spaced with the 90 caliber net. And Vi is not even interested in helping bot lane anymore. He's pretty much calling that lane a lost cause and is just trying to power up on her own. But a lot of times when teams just accept that a lane is lost and let it roll over, it just makes the snowball all the easier for the opposing team. So I still think he should have tried to at least make one more play down there before giving up on it altogether. And right now, Elise doesn't have a whole lot to do in terms of ganking the lanes. Ganking for Shyvana's probably not going to be all that productive. And both of the other leveled up pretty hard. So we'll see if Elise decides to move for the dragon or go bottom. It looks like Best Braum NA has decided to go bottom. Oh no! He has changed his mind and he is going to take the free dragon. And this will be completely uncontested here. Red team's going to rotate up. Nice and easy. And there we go. Best My Little Brawly. With the farming behind the turret. Proxying the wave. There's absolutely nothing that the blue team could do to contest this, even if they wanted to. Both of the mid lane and the bot lane are too worried about getting their farm. This bot turret should be going down very, very soon, and that is already about a 2k gold lead for WeCanTwerk, looking about as unstoppable as they were in the previous spring tournament. Taking a look at the solo lane items right now as Kog'Maw does finally hit 6, so he can CS from a little bit further away, so long as he manages his mana. Looks like Shyvana's going for early magic resist and health stacking. Not a bad idea against the double AP. of Orianna and Lulu. Kog'Maw also does mixed damage as well, so that's good for that as well. And Lulu going for very standard items in the AP of Chalice and Sork Shoes. Mid lanes pretty much mirroring each other with the double Chalice start. Captain Zeus finally making a return to bot lane, but it is at a very poorly chosen time, as she was not in any position to get the jump on to red team, and Elise is back in the bot lane, and we'll see if blue team decides to make a U-turn and swing around for round 2. Yeah, Opops is walking up, trying to bait a hook out to get them to commit, but it's not going to happen. Captain Poseidon smells a rat, knows something's up. Best Broltene with a nice cocoon onto Captain Zeus, but Orianna is there with the protective shield. That will just be a reset. Pink Ward going to go over towards Elise, again making use of both forms in the range auto attacks. Very, very helpful. Oh, Captain Zeus getting really greedy for that ward. There's the Xerath ulti. And ticks Vi down dangerously low, but she is out of range, thankfully, so she will get away. Did have to blow flash, though. So yeah, Vi getting very greedy for that ward. And not really respecting the lead right now that WeCanTwerk has. Took way too much damage than he expected. Yeah, taking a look at the top lane. My little Brawly is ahead by a little bit, but it's really the turrets that are determining who's ahead right now, as he has been shoved up pretty much the entire time. Getting free hits on the tower whenever possible, and then just clearing the wave and then going back to square one. Seems to be having a pretty casual lane right now. Oh, that deep ward going to spot out Vi. We'll see if he Dragon's Descents over the wall. Gonna try to use his burnout to get away. There's the Assault and Battery. So if he can get some distance here, he should be able to get out. Yeah, and there's the laugh. He knows that he's safe. Nothing they can really do at that point. Already with the early Chain Vest as well, which will probably turn into a Sunfire Cape very soon. He actually might have the gold in a little bit for that. And right now, Pang Smash not looking to have a whole lot of fight in them right now. They're looking pretty scared. I mean, rightfully so. Elise is wrecking shop right now. Don't know why they let him have it, as the very nice Q follows through. Best Brolt NA getting jumped on by Who Is Evan, but Who Is Evan needs to be careful. He does not have any mana left. Flashes through, though, to try to catch Repel up into the air. And can we get the camera back onto Elise? Yes, we can. She is alive. And does manage to get away. And Deanbot putting some damage onto Poseidon. Pause coming out of all times. Very, very weird. But yeah, I'm really surprised that Pang Smash let Elise through. That has been one of the most successful junglers for WeCanTwerk. Obviously, they've won way more matches than they've lost in these tournaments, but still, when they have Elise, they usually win really, really hard, and it's showing again in this first game. Yeah, right now WeCanTwerk looking all business. Just playing very, very straight up. Taking their lead and running with it. Landing all the skill shots that they can. Capitalizing on every mistake that Pang Smash has made so far. Caitlyn with that Infinity Edge at 14 minutes. That is a great time to have that, as the Dragon will be up in about a minute and a half. So they can take that no problem, and they can start sieging out the outer circle of turrets. And Pang Smash probably needs to abandon laning and just start rotating and grouping up, because the one-on-one fights are not working out for them. So they probably need to tip the scales with some unfair advantages in numbers. Let's see if Opops gets ulted onto. No, they will not. Too afraid to go onto that. Captain Poseidon juking the Xerath Q, but runs right back into the bubble. And yeah, after taking that bot turret, wisely they move to mid lane so they can hurry up and take that. That'll be great map control for them. Who is Evan getting locked up again? There's the wave and the Xerath ulti coming across. It's raining onto Who is Evan, and he goes down so fast. Again, another mistake by Pang Smash, not respecting the damage and the lockup potential. Usually the wave from Nami, not the greatest in catching people out, but when you combine it with the other CCs from their team, it makes for a great combo enabler. Because not only does it knock them up, but it also slows them as well, I believe. So that's going to be 2 turrets, just like that. And it's going to be a dragon for free. We'll see if Pang Smash just wants to call this first game quits at after another if they lose another team fight or lose another bunch of objectives. It's quite possible that they might call this game a wash and just move on to game 2. Because this is one of those situations where it's possible that a throw could happen, but 26k to 19 at 16 minutes into the game against a bunch of characters like Xerath, who's already snowballed, Shyvana, Elise, and Caitlyn, who are snowballed, and then Kog'Maw, who needs so much time to ramp up, Orianna, which needs a lot of time to ramp up, and a very squishy Vi right now, very starved out. Doesn't really look like a comeback's going to be doable, and it's probably best to avoid any further psychological damage by falling further and further behind and struggling through this game. Captain Zeus flashing away. And there's the Thresh Express. Little miscommunication right there as he was just concentrating on queuing away. But again, that will be a power play in the advantage of WeCanTwerk, as they know that Vi is chunked very, very low. And it looks like they're going to just keep forcing the issue here, because they know that Kog'Maw can't do anything right now. He has to stay bottom and farm up Genja status. He has to soak up that CS. He has to get the guaranteed gold. And so they're like, you know what? If Kog'Maw's just going to stay down there, we're just going to force him away. And it's a good call. This inner turret is not defendable for Pang Smash. I think it's much too dangerous for them to stick around. And they're posturing, but I think when the next wave comes up, they're going to finish this off. It's also possible that we could see Shyvana TP in, just to force the fight if it does present itself. Top laners duking it out, but meanwhile in the bot lane, Mark 24 gonna go down to the Xerath ulti. Another positioning mistake by Pang Smash. Good wombo combo with the shockwave though. They're gonna finally get a kill onto Orianna. Oh, excuse me, Orianna didn't even get that. That did go to Vi. Best Brawl 10A is burning down. But Who is Evan can't chase any further as Deanbot goes to cut him off. There's the stun coming across. Thresh got to come over and help him. Misses with the flay. And that is all the threat that they have right now. Deanbot going super hard though, still refusing to leave. It's probably best that he calls it quits though. So yeah, as I said, Pang Smash paid a big price for trying to defend that turret. They should have just abandoned it. They did not have the power to come out of that ahead. And as a result, Kog'Maw died, lost even more CS as the fight went on. Continues to fall into a hole. Building towards Trinity Force. Almost has it finished. But he's still going to be at least a major item behind by the time that's all said and done. And just given how much burst damage that the red team is doing right now, it's highly unlikely that he'll be alive in a fight. What's probably going to happen is that he's probably going to get poked out before the fight even starts. Xerath could probably just get vision on him, pop his ulti onto him, and chunk him down to half, and that would probably be the end of the fight right then and there. And little Brawly doing a very good job of keeping this lane in the top from ever getting close to pushing against him. This is probably the closest that it's going to get. And it looks like he's finally decided to abandon his lane. Nope, going to go right back up top. Wise choice. The rest of his team is 4v4ing no problem, so he might as well just keep Lulu contained. And just take the top lane as well, and just complete the map control all around. And more Xerath damage coming from long range where they cannot interact with him, they can't really stop him. And this dive comp having a really hard time right now, just because they're the ones that are getting dove on. They are basically at the mercy of WeCanTwerk right now. It's quite possible that the next team fight will probably mean an inhibitor, and at least the inhibitor turret. And we could see Pang Smash just saying let's go to game 2 already, because they're still fighting. They haven't given up yet, but game's kind of out of their hands at this point. It's going to be on WeCanTwerk to really make a big mistake at this point. More poke coming out from Deanbot as he blows his ulti onto Kassadin. Going dangerously, little ace in the hole coming across, but of course, not quite enough yet. But that will force them away. So WeCanTwerk doing a very good job of sieging up these turrets. Not much to say. It has been all WeCanTwerk this entire game. Small mistake upon small mistake capitalized on. And it has resulted in this huge snowball of about 9k gold. Ooh, Kog'Maw almost walking into that as the cocoon comes across into the creep wave though. So Orianna will be safe for now. And Deanbot's still with blue buff ticking, so he can chuck spells all day. Little Brawly getting jumped on by Captain Zeus, but he is not worried at all. He continues to spam his laugh. Blaster taking a little bit of damage, but nothing too serious. Blue buff looks like it has timed out for Deanbot, so they will call it quits. And they will just regroup into the jungle, finally joined up by their top laner as a 5. I believe it's the first time that they were grouped up as a 5 the entire game. Dragon will go down nice and free for WeCanTwerk, and they'll go back and shop, see what their next plan of attack is. WeCanTwerk has been very methodical this entire game, and usually they're known for being a little bit more disrespectful when they have a big lead like this. They usually go much more ham, but I'm pretty sure that they want to end these games as soon as possible, as I said before. Like, the fact that Elise didn't dive that first gank after they got the flash from Orianna is an indication to me that they're being pretty serious about this, and they just want to do things by the book. And I guarantee their victory. And Pang Smash just needs to try to stay positive here. They can't, you know, start the blame game now. They need to, this is where they need to keep it together. Keep the communication up, still talk to each other, try to help out everybody, call out where people are on the map, call out wards if all possible. Again, this is one of their first tournaments, I believe, as a team, so this is where experience kind of comes into play. When you're down by this much against a team at the caliber of WeCanTwerk, it's got to be really intimidating, so this will be a big test of their mental fortitude. Okay, Blaster 8282 shoving up that wave. Honestly, WeCanTwerk could probably just bulldog the Baron right now if they wanted to. The only thing that's really stopping them from killing Pang Smash is the fact that they're hugging the turrets, and the turrets are still kind of dangerous because of the wombo combo potential from Vi and Orianna. And if they can just lure them away from the turrets and chase them down, they probably could get some kills. But it looks like they're content to just siege up. Deanbot getting caught out, but his team was not... the enemy team was not in position to dogpile, so... Just a warning shot. Captain Zeus fading Vault Breaker in as Caitlyn 90 calibers away, but that's a catch! Nice wombo combo onto Blaster 8282, but because of the item difference, he does survive the burst damage. No death cap yet on Orianna. You gotta believe if the death cap had gone down, that would have been a free kill. Thresh once again the victim of the ace in the hole. And he has to distance himself back towards the base. Shyvana, uncontested, takes that turret. Big combo damage onto Mark 24, and he explodes into itty-bitty pieces. Captain Zeus trying to posture right now, but almost gets himself killed. Who is Evan does have blue buff, and Shockwave was just used though, so probably not going to be able to hold this. Great flash to avoid the Dragon's Descent, but that's going to back them off of the inhibitor, and that's all that they really want. Again, the item disadvantage is just so big right now. If they had 1 or 2 core items in their inventory, those combos would probably be killing them. But because they don't, they're able to kite back successfully and get out for free. Everything went right there for WeCanTwerk. Caitlyn got jumped on, which was really, really bad. But again, no death cap on Orianna yet. And Vi is going tankier build, doesn't have the Trinity Force build. No death cap Lulu either, and only Trinity Force Kog'Maw. No Infinity Edge or major attack damage item yet. Not even a Blade of the Ruined King or Last Whisper yet, so just very, very poor right now. That made all the difference. And because of the lack of damage, it's also going to make it harder for them to clear out the creep waves. That bot lane is going to start getting shoved in really, really hard, and it is the longest lane from the Baron Pit on this side of the map, so it's probably why they chose to shove that lane down first. It was also the farthest lane away from the top side, which is where Little Brawly was shoving as well. So if Lulu were to leave the top lane and walk down to defend the other lane, he would have to take the longest walk possible. So pretty good strategy right there. And here we go. Little Brawly gonna just posture in the mid. They can't really chase after. Well, they could, but I don't think they'll get anything out of it. Little Brawly posturing, moving himself back into range for the harass, and he's just stalling them off of the Baron right now. He's probably gonna go down at this point, just because all the ults are getting burned. Nice flash out. Ooh, the tidal wave actually saving his life. Opops may pay for the save though. The Baron does go down, and Opops does pay for it, but he does save the top laner, so that is very much worth it. I do feel like that was a little bit unnecessary though. They did not need to have Little Brawly posture in that area and distract them. It guaranteed the Baron, which is always nice, but I really don't think with a level 12 jungler to a level 14 jungler that a smite steal was even going to be possible. They probably could have just went in as a 5, waited for them to come in, and then just turn. But in the end, they do guarantee the Baron, and Kog'Maw doing very little damage to the super creeps. It's going to take him a long time to clear those waves out. I guess the other upside to Shyvana posturing in the mid lane like that and offering herself up as free bait is that it drags the AD carry away from the bot lane, where he would probably want to be dealing with the wave one at a time. But because he walked away to help his team kill Shyvana and then kill Nami, it allowed a double wave to build up. And now this turret is indefensible with the Baron buff on. The stats do so much for their lead right now. Death cap finally acquired for both mid and top, but it's too little too late. Too much of the base is already gone. Too much map control has already been forfeited. And red team just going to play it by the book again, taking the safest route to victory. Not trying to cut any corners here. Hook coming across will find nothing. And WeCanTwerk going to move up and bulldog this final turret down. Inhibitor will be up in a little bit, but again, honestly, it is of little consequence. Waiting for the creep wave to get there. Caitlyn with her long range sidesteps the ulti from Orianna. Here comes the last fight of the game, and Shyvana super tanky, zoning out 3 people. That is just brutal. She does go down, but mission accomplished. The turret does go down. Kog'Maw is critically low on health, and Deanbot looks like he wants some more. But the inhibitor going down, and that is all that matters. And they are still at a 4-on-4. Kog'Maw is finally healed up though, so he is going to go hard for Deanbot. But Deanbot will flash over the wall and get away. Oh, and the inhibitor going down again to the creeps and to Best Broth NA. Again, those creep waves really starting to pile up now. Now that all the inhibitors are down, that's going to mean a double super minion wave in each lane. That's very, very scary. Yeah, honestly, there's nothing at all that Pang Smash can do to win this. Even the Nexus turrets are not going to matter at this point. Not with 6 minions coming in. Not with 6 super minions coming in at once per wave. They're shoving out as best as they can, and I'm glad to see that they're still playing it out and they haven't totally lost all hope. But they should really start thinking about the picks and bans for the next game. Think about what gave them the most trouble. And again, they might even consider doing some shenanigans for the next game, maybe a 2v1, just to ensure that their AD carry gets ahead, or at least doesn't get starved out, because this was a pretty big crippling of Kog'Maw for this entire game. He didn't really get to play after that first turnaround by Elise. And Kog'Maw trying to soak up as much farm as he can, but you know, he just doesn't have the damage to clear the waves fast enough right now. Doesn't have the AoE. So he has to let the wave push back into him as his teammates really need his presence there at the double turrets. Yeah, all 3 waves getting shoved in by WeCanTwerk. This is going to be the end of the game, regardless of whether Pang Smash wants it or not. Well played by WeCanTwerk. There goes the creep waves hitting onto the Nexus turrets. And because they are so far ahead, the turrets are doing very little damage to them now. Nice hook onto Little Brawly and taking him out. But Nexus is going to go down here. Good game to WeCanTwerk. They will move up 1-0 in the set of 3. One more win, and winners finals is all theirs.